Welcome to the Transparent FX Academy. In this video, I'll speak about USDJPY. And as usual, to keep the video as educational as possible, first I'll cover the technical aspect for this market. Then we will be moving to the commitment of traders, so the COT data, which is what the big players and institutions are doing and how they're moving and shifting their orders, which is what you see right here. And by the end of the video, by putting together these two different types of analysis, we will try to understand where we have the highest probabilities for the next potential move here for this pair. So this is definitely a video you do not want to miss. So without further ado, let's jump straight onto the charts. Starting here from the monthly time frame, what we can see is that we have a market which at the moment is testing a quite strong historical monthly demand and support area. From here, in fact, all these previous rejections to the upside were created. Every single time the market tested this zone, it rejected it to the upside quite aggressively. And at the moment the market is testing this exact same zone, has already started rejecting it to the upside. And this push to the upside is coming with strong institutional buying. And we will be speaking about institutional buying in just a few moments when we move to the commitment of traders analysis. But for now, let's keep in mind that here in the monthly, the market is rejecting strong historical demand and support. And let's drop down on the weekly time frame. Now, here in the weekly, the situation is quite interesting as well. What we can notice is that after starting out with this very strong bearish trend, the market then here bottomed out, essentially printing this triple bottom at this area. Now, this push to the upside was very much expected. And in fact, also from the previous analysis just a few days ago, I was expecting, if you remember, this rejection to the upside more precisely. That is because the market clearly had found support at the previous historical demand and support that we have previously identified on the monthly time frame. And also, if we drop down on the daily time frame, and if you recall from that previous analysis, we spoke about the fact that the market had broken structure to the upside. So essentially, the market had shifted from a bearish market, so from the creation of daily lower lows and lower highs, to then the creation of daily higher highs and higher lows. And I explained all the reasons for which after this impulse and correction from here, I was expecting the continuation to the upside, which is in fact exactly what the market gave us. And by the way, I will link in description that previous analysis, so you can go and check it out for more free education. But at the moment, what kind of structure we have? Well, first of all, as we were saying, from a weekly standpoint, we have a market which has created this triple bottom exactly at this zone. And we can also notice that there is a quite important area here from a weekly standpoint that the market is about to test, which is this zone here. Now, this is the previous level of supply and resistance from which this push to the downside was created. Now the market is heading back inside of this area. Now, inside of here, there is a good probability that the market should find some supply and resistance. So essentially, it should see and find some sellers from an institutional perspective inside of this zone. However, there still is a bit of room for the market to continue higher, to really go and test this area before then finding resistance, which means that from a daily perspective, there is still the possibility to see yet another rejection to the upside being created away from this previous level of daily resistance, which now that the market has broken it to the upside is turned support. And the market already seems to be finding some support across the area. So especially if we will see another test of this demand and support zone, there is a good probability that the market could want to test this area and then reject it to the upside to go and test what kind of supply and resistance we have inside of this zone and what kind of liquidity there is inside of this area. Now, why am I saying more institutional buying? Because if we're going to see what we have when it comes to the commitment of traders, so what the big players in the market are doing and how they are moving and shifting their orders, and we look at the data precisely for the JPY, what we have to keep in mind is that if we are looking at the data for the JPY, what we are actually looking at is JPY USD, because all currencies on the spot are traded against the USD. But if we want information on USDJPY, we simply have to reverse everything. So what this means is that if institutions are shorting the JPY to USD, they are longing USDJPY. And in fact, that is exactly what institutions are doing. Institutions are shorting JPY USD. As we can see here, 6,700 shorts added just with the last report and 4,400 longs getting closed. And at the same time, this means that they are longing USDJPY by shorting JPY USD. So clearly, net positions are decreasing, with institutions going from having 179K net positions all the way down to only 116,000. So clearly, institutions are moving back aggressively to the bearish side of JPY USD, to the bullish side for USD JPY. Let's keep that in mind and move back to the chart. And by the way, if you still haven't, make sure that you join my free Telegram channel, which you find linked in the description, so you never miss new updates. Now back to the analysis. So in a situation like this, if the market will retrace to this previous level of daily resistance, now turn support, what would I expect? Well, as usual, and as my students know very well, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, weekly, and daily time frames combined with the COT data, those are the best time frames when it comes to the directional aspect of the market. However, when it comes to identifying early shifts in the trend of a market, the best time frames for that are the intraday time frames, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, what I would expect is that if this market would shift from an intraday bearish to bullish market, I wouldn't be surprised to see a potential rejection to the upside away from this area for the market to go and test this, in this case, daily supply and resistance zone. That definitely wouldn't surprise me. Now, if you want to learn more, I really recommend that you go and check out my website, which is linked in the description, because what you see me share here on YouTube is actually just the tip of the iceberg. In fact, if you head over to the website in the description, you will have the possibility to join the best trading program on the planet. You will gain access to all the courses ranging from the very basics of charting all the way to the more advanced topics like building automated trading strategies using the MQL4 programming language, building portfolios of strategies using quantitative finance tools like the Quant Analyzer, and much more. You will have the possibility, in fact, to gain access to the trading station software with the Telegram notifications integration, one-on-one private mentoring directly with me, the COT data software, which often you see me use directly in my YouTube videos, on all my platforms actually. And if you scroll down, you will see that you also have the possibility to get the integration. So all my EAs, which you find here presented one by one directly on the website. And you also have the possibility to gain access to my live trading show. So I live stream of all the trades on my live account as they're opened, closed, trade, and obviously managed. And if you continue to scroll down, you will see that you have the possibility to join just after here the testimonials and gain automatically access with the email and password that you will create during the checkout process. So I really suggest that at least you go and check it out. The link is in the description and I will see you in it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you click on the like button to support the channel. Also, any questions you might have, let me know in the comments below. Also, new pairs that you would like me to cover in my next videos. Make sure to also subscribe to the channel so you never miss new updates, and I will see you in my next video.